Because it's 100 and something degrees outside. I forgot to turn my AC on, so it's 86. No, it's 89 when I got home. It's 86 in the house right now. So if you're hearing fan noises, that's why. I apologize for the fan noises, and it's just gonna be that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're just trying to survive
We're
over
just
here.
trying to survive. I literally have an ice pack so that
Wow.
I could cool my body down because I've been in 100 and something degree weather all day long.
Yeah.
Um, where should we start at with heat? We want to start.
Let, let's talk about some tactics in the heat first. Or do
So
you want to wait for tactics?
we'll wait for tactics.
Okay.
What are your
Let's
thoughts?
pre-thought. Let's go pre-thought before you're going to go fishing, right? What are you going to do before you go?
You're gonna hydrate before you go. Hydration starts the day before. For those of you that work blue collar jobs, um, you 100% get that told that a ton of time, and you have the whole P color chart
Yeah.
to look at your P color to figure out if you need that. I will say definitely pack some sort of electrolyte drink in the boat, whether it's Gatorade or it's
Powerade,
Powerade
whatever.
or
Pedialyte.
yeah, Pedialyte. There's one that Costco sells that's actually supposed to be really, really good for electrolytes, and that um, I forgot the name of it. It's like a powder actually
Yeah.
that you drop into your regular drink. But bring plenty of water and stay hydrated on the water. And also, although there's heat and you don't want to eat, you actually should eat.
Yeah,
Eat your
absolutely.
normal pace,
So one of the things that I do, like
and that's before also, like the night before.
the night before, I'm gonna put water bottles when it's this hot in the freezer. I'm gonna freeze like six to eight of them, and put them in the freezer so they're frozen when I put them in my bag. Not only for me, my partner, but the fish also.
Yeah, you definitely want to have that fish um, to keep that water temperature down. And I believe you don't want to drop the water temperature inside your live well lower than
Mm-mm.
5 or 10 or something like that degrees because your fish will actually go into shock when you drop your fish into the live well. The other thing you can do is run your like when that water gets into that 80 plus, the oxygen content drops so low that you want to keep it on constant recirc. You do not want to run it light
Yeah.
on that at all.
I'll actually
Um,
drop a whole water bottle into the.
Actually, let's check on.
I'll drop a whole water bottle into the live well if it's that hot, right?
Yeah, where it's
Just
closed
one,
in.
right? It's cooling the full live well. If I have fish in there, just to try to keep them,
I
cool.
so I actually run two batteries on my boat when I really only need the power from one, and that's so on these hot summer days, I can, especially with 6 hour tournaments, I can run the dang it, the aerators.
There you
I can run the aerators 24/7. Like I turn them on and they stay on. I run them on high, and I can run the whole day. I've never really tested it against um, staying in one spot all day because I usually pick up and move.
Yeah.
But running that aerator all day, I mean, I definitely charge the batteries when I get back, and it takes a lot longer to charge than normal.
Yeah, it's something to think about, right? Like even fishing game, they limit us during the summer hours to a 6 hour tournament just for fish health.
Yeah.
So make sure you're doing your part too and taking care of that. But again, you are number one, right?
Yeah.
So in those hot days, drink that water, wear clothes that are
Breathe and sun protect. Wear
sunscreen.
Um, what's happening, mom and four kids? Um, the the weather or the like heat stroke, like signs of heat stroke are
There's multiple signs.
you're the he's
I'm
the
the
smarter, professionally trained
medical
medical-ish person.
person. Um, Getting dizzy, lightheaded, super hot. Those are all signs of
Not
heat,
sweating.
not sweating. Are signs of heat stroke. Um, you don't if you're getting into that, you need to start sitting down. You need to start cooling down. If you have those frozen water bottles, put them on those arteries, right?
Yeah.
In between your legs, on your arms, the back of your neck, your jugulars, right, to where you're cooling that blood. You need to start cooling down immediately. I don't recommend if you are getting a heat stroke like that and jumping in the water, because that could put you into shock.
Yeah, you don't want to cool your body too fast.
Correct.
You just want to cool it down gradually.
But if you're hot and you're not feeling lightheaded, you're not feeling like weird, can you get in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get in the water. I might not do it at Clear Lake during the summer.
Yeah. You just come back with an extra arm or
Yeah.
something else.
I can net my own fish then.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I could net my own fish, bro. But yeah, no, definitely look out, and also look out for your partners when you're fishing with them. You could tell when somebody's not feeling good, right? Like,
yeah.
especially in this heat. Like, realistically, we've been over 100 for the last few days, and it's not planning on stopping. I think Reading this weekend is supposed to be 119. So it's gonna be hot. Pack your stuff, stay cool, hydrate prior to, because you can't catch up. Once you go out there and you think you could catch up to it, you're not gonna be able to catch up to it. You could only maintain.
Yeah. So hydrate. What's up, Eddie? You got your water bottles. You have cold packs. You got a bunch of different things like that. That's before you go out. Do you remember that in the summertime there is definitely a bunch of, let's say, less practiced boaters?
That's a good
good
definition.
PC live YouTube like less practiced boaters.
Would that be like qualified captains?
It would be the people who show up on Qualified Captain on Instagram or Facebook. The people who launch their trucks, not their boats. Those kind of people. They usually don't pay attention. They'll drive through. I don't know how many times I'll be fishing and they'll drive between me and the bank, and I can hit the bank with the cast, and they wave as they drive by. And like, I was just at Comanche on top of an island top, and I'm literally fishing around the trees on the island top, and here comes a boat, splits between like the tops of the trees. Dude got really, really lucky, because if he was 20 feet to the right, it was like 1 foot deep, and he happened to hit like a trough in between humps. Maybe we're going to go with he was so skilled and he knew that lake so well that he knew exactly where to cross that top. But the part that gives him away is as he was going across, he looks down and he goes, "Oh!" And then he just keeps going. Luckily, doesn't shut down. But less skilled.
Yeah, pay attention. If you're nervous about anything, slow down.
Yeah, shut down. The best thing to do in a situation is turn to the side, shut down. Always remember to pass on your right. If there is an incident and you go left, you may be caused at fault. If you go right and there's an incident, that's the proper lane of traffic, just like you are on a road. Pass to the right. If that person goes with you when you go to the right, just keep going until you do a whole U-turn, basically. Or you run out of land, like shut down, you run out of water.
Right.
Watch for waves, all these wakeboard boats. And
it's not the wakeboard
surf boats.
It's the surf boats.
On the Delta, I can say that there are times that you can run across surf boat waves going down the slough, but there's no boat in the area because it came in through the inlet to that slough.
Right.
And you can't see the waves. There's no boat around because they're off to the sides, but you can hit those waves. So always be looking down. That has got me before.
Yeah, it will definitely throw your boat in the air.
Yeah. So
if you're cruising along and you get one of those, because they're big enough and spread out enough that you can't
overly see them, but they will definitely hop you.
Yeah.
Just like a Delta Destroyer, when you get behind those big old cabin boats, they do the same thing.
Yeah, definitely pay attention when you're driving around out there, and pay attention to other people. Watch for other people.
My recommendation in this time of the year is go slower,
Yeah.
like 50 tops, like 40 tops. I don't always listen to my recommendations though. And I got in trouble from it.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation. It's kind of what I stick to now. Let's see. What else we got heat related before we get into the fishing, the good stuff?
Um, sunscreen. Yeah, I can't say that enough, right?
Good sunscreen. Don't go cheap on it.
Yeah, don't go cheap. Um,
What's up, Getsy boy?
I use SPF 100 plus, redhead. I burn good. So
Along with sun shirts.
sun shirts, long
hoods up.
sleeves, gloves, right? I do everything I can, and you could tell even right now that I have a sunglass line.
Yeah, I've been working too much. My sunglass line is.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
got one, right? Like, so definitely. The main thing is hydrate prior to. If you know you're going to go out fishing or you're going to go out on the water, even if you're not fishing, right? Like, hydrate prior to, right?
Yeah.
Like that goes back to if I go out in the ocean, you know, I don't want to be that guy that gets sick out on the ocean. So I'll take the pills like Bonine or Dramamine or something like that the day before,
Just
like
to
the
be
night
sure.
before, just to make sure that it's in my system. I'll take it again in the morning, but it's in my system when I get there. That's the same thing about getting hydrated prior to going out there, is having it in your system. You're already hydrated, so now you're already fighting what is about to happen with your body and that weather, because it's straight up hot, right? Like,
Another indication is if you've drank a bunch of water and you're not peeing.
yeah,
Like if you drank water and you're not peeing, you probably need more water.
yeah, or you need to get off the water.
Yeah, you need a steady stream basically.
Yeah, if you're not using the restroom while you're out there and it's in the 100-degree and you've drinking 6 bottles of water,
Yeah.
it's probably time to call it a day.
Yeah. Call it a day. Get some AC. Lock it up. Um, I think besides the crazies, I mean, less practiced, whatever
Skilled.
I said, less skilled. Besides the less skilled jet skiers and maybe other
Hey,
bass boaters.
speaking,
There could be other
yes,
bass boaters.
yes. But speaking of jet skis, don't ever trust a jet ski driver.
No, it's like a electric or a Prius driver. Never
Yeah,
trust a
never
Prius.
trust them, right? Like,
No offense to the Prius drivers.
watch what they're doing at all times, because they drive erratically, because it's a jet ski, right? Watch what they're doing while you're driving your boat. You do not want to be that one.
And if you know that they haven't physically locked eyes with you,
Yeah,
lay back on them. Don't run up their side. Like wait till they know you're there and
Yep.
then run up them. Especially if you're in a narrow situation where you can't juck and jive to the side.
yeah. Mom of 4 kids says water is not enough for some people.
Yep.
It is not, 100%. That you need to be drinking those Gatorades, those Pedialytes, the Powerades. You need those electrolytes to help build some of that up.
Get that salt content
The
back
salt
in you.
content.
That gets sweat it out.
So you can sweat it out, right? Like, that is 100% correct.
Fishing wise, let's kick it into something
let's,
good.
Let's go
Like,
kick it into
Good,
fishing.
good. Fishing wise, those of you in the comments, we're curious. What is your number one favorite thing that you guys like to do in this hot heat? Like, besides stay home on the couch in your air conditioning. Like, if you actually go out there, what's your favorite technique? For me, it's gonna be frog.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm 100% say frog. Like,
Yeah.
as long as all these days that it's been in the 100 degrees, all I can think about is frogging.
yeah, there's no way there's not a frog bite out there.
There's got to be a frog bite out there, right? And I don't care what frog you throw, there's probably a frog bite out there.
Yeah, just throw your favorite frog. It's whatever you're confident in. And then Eddie says punching. That'd be my number 2.
Yeah.
Would be punching. I'm not. I can catch punch fish. I don't know how to knock them out of the park with a punch fish.
Yeah.
Frog, I can do decent. Not like amazing, but I can do decent. My PB is on a frog. It was actually about this time of the year now that I think about it.
Yeah.
It was on that. It was a nice hot day. and then focus on cover for frog. Like places I'm looking at frog wise is going to be somewhere that those fish can be not in direct sun, but have a ambush point or have a place to pin them against.
Yeah.
So if you ever notice, like let's say there's a weed line or something, and you throw to the rock side and you're walking that frog out, when you get close to that weed line is when that bite happens. Where they have that pinch point, that backstop, that's something that they feel like they have an advantage on them. And then the other thing is like, so let's for instance you're in a swimming pool and you're swimming across the swimming pool. You're gonna be looking down, doing all this other stuff, but when you get to the edge, you're only looking at the edge. And I think that's kind of what they're thinking is the frogs are only looking at the edge. They're not feeling their senses. They're more worried about where they're going to take a rest. And that's when the frogs get picked off, or that's when the bass feel like they're going to pick them off.
Yeah. Big John says buzz baits is my go-to first thing in the morning, and then back it up with a pop R. 100% that top water, that buzz bait. You're burning bank. You're covering way more water with that than a frog, and that is something that buzzbaits get big bites.
Yes, they do. And I tell me what in natural world is a buzzbait bite? What is a buzzbait mimicking? Don't know, but damn, it pisses some bass off. Corey says he's pinging a minnow offshore just like the rest of the year. Yeah, chasing that. What is it called? Cricket tickling.
Yeah, cricket tickling.
Cricket tickling.
Yeah.
That's a lot harder. If those of you don't know, that's a lot harder than those pros make it seem like. It's not just cast at them all and hook them all. It's cast at 300 and hook one. I still learning it.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Mom.
Top water in the AM, and then underspin and shaky head. Shaky head is a good like Clear Lake summertime.
Yeah.
For sure. And then that's for me. I don't know what you're doing, mom, 4 kids, but typically it's rock piles for me. Shore fishermen. Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're right there. Those are perfect. Shaky head's a good bait. It's nice weedless bait. You can get back from most stuff. You're probably gonna break a couple off, but realistically, you can rip that out, especially if you gauge up your line. Underspins are good, especially if you do like a flashy swimmer. Like it's hard to get a flashy swimmer stuck. You can, but it's a lot harder to get it stuck. It'll go through dang near anything. And then some of those open hook underspins are pretty good at coming out of stuff. They don't get hung up as much.
Yeah.
I throw the eco tungsten or eco something underspin. It doesn't get hung up that much. And I'll actually like dredge the bottom with it and just tick the bottom. It's pretty good.
Berryessa. Right now, Berryessa has got, it's only like 4 foot down. So because it's hot, I would think about shade.
Yeah, trees. I would focus on like tree areas, bridge pilings.
Yeah.
I know you're from shore. There is used to be called Oak Shores. I don't know what it's called now. I think they still call it Oak Shores.
I think it's Oak
There's a bunch of tree areas in there. If you get a like a blow up paddleboard or a blow up kayak or something like that, something you can fold up and put in your car, you can blow that up and paddle across to the big island and just beat your kayak and just walk the shores there, and then you get to a whole bunch of areas that it's not that expensive. You don't need to fish from it because you're just getting to across the street to the island, and then walking that shoreline too. Definitely something I've done in the past. Actually, I had aluminum that I would take out way back when.
Yeah.
Tried putting a trolling motor on that. It did work. It just was super sketchy if you wanted to like stand up. I think like a good kayak now is way better than that aluminum was.
Yeah. Pretty much. What's up, Eric?
What's up, Elau? Elau is the originator of the Elau knot.
Yeah.
I coined that. That's, you know, when you get your braid wraps around your tip and you have to like unwrap it, that's an elau knot. He's he's very skilled at making those.
Yes, he is.
It's very good. I'm also good at it too. But it's an elau for us. Sumner, what's happening, Sumner?
But back to fishing, like say Delta. I'm gonna play with the frogs. I'm gonna have a punch. I'm gonna have that kind of stuff out ready to go, depending on what we're running across. I'll probably have a buzz bait. I really like a clacking buzz bait.
In the mornings,
in the morning.
I will throw a Spook Junior or a wake bait, something in that area. Wake bait is something in the afternoon that is overlooked a lot. If you're throwing a wake bait, they will come up after it. If you're getting in those frog conditions, they kind of seem to be in that area too.
Yeah, and thinking about frogs, Ultimate Frog Challenge is coming.
We should be at the UFC amateur side because we're not that good.
No, we're not good.
Coming up for the UFC 10?
10.
I think it's 10.
10. It's out of Russo's. I think it's like the
It's the last
27th to 28th of
the last full
July.
weekend of July.
27th, 28th of July, out of Russo's. It's actually a pretty good little tournament, and it's fun. It's just frogs.
Elau says it takes a lot of hard work to make elau knots.
It does.
He's got a skill. He's got a knack.
Yes.
He's got a knack for it.
Professional.
Professional elau knot tire.
Um,
Elau needs a partner for what? You need a partner for the frog tournament, UFC? Is that what you're looking for? The main things I'm going to focus on, let's start with, where did Berryessa? We'd be focusing on, so Berryessa I'd focus on like rock or trees.
right.
Anything that's like a tree point that would come out and has deep water available near it.
All
Something that has deeper water
everything
in the
needs
area.
deep water access.
The east side of Berryessa, I don't know. I don't traditionally do that well in the summertime on the east side of Berryessa this time of the year. There's fish there, and they're like a bunch of like 2 to 3 pounders, but I don't really do well in the bigger fish over there. But there's still a ton of them over there. Is there grass on that east side?
Yeah.
He's been fishing the Thursday nighter, so he knows more about Berryessa than I
Yes,
do.
there's definitely grass.
If there's
over
grass that you want to focus on that grass, again, that's back to cover, shade. The other thing about grass is it provides oxygen. So that, like I said earlier in this, you got that 80-degree water that doesn't hold oxygen. The grass is making that oxygen that the 80-degree water doesn't have.
Yeah.
So,
I think Eric just got a partner for frog tournament.
yeah, look at that. We're making what do they call that? Matching.
Yeah.
The
We're matchmakers.
like love match. We're love matching for
Matchmakers here.
We're frog matching them.
Frog matching.
Um,
Gone Fishing actually does a tri-tip
Yep.
meal for everybody on Sunday.
For Sunday, yeah. You
yeah,
stick
it's-
around for the awards, and they have the tri-tip meal. Don't lollygag too much to get your tri-tip meal.
Yeah.
They usually have enough, but sometimes I think some people go back for seconds or something.
Yeah, we're matchmakers for sure, Eli.
Yeah, dreams coming true.
Though, when it's hot like this, I do like to fish Clear Lake.
Yeah, Clear Lake. There's a couple of videos back, live videos. If you go into this channel, go into that, go into where it's
Lives.
got like the thing, and then click over to lives, and then down in the lives there's a Clear Lake summertime Clear Lake video. That one has a lot of the content for that. Bullet points for that is dock shade, weed shade,
Thule shade,
deeper rock, tule shade.
rock shade.
If you're noticing, pretty much most of it has to do with shade, and then your other option is deeper water,
Yeah.
or as Corey says, pinging a minnow,
Yes.
or cricket tickling.
Cricket tickling.
What's happening, Josh Rossi? Um, what else we got for Clear Lake? Clear Lake would be. I mean, we're talking glide baits, drop shot,
Definitely glides.
um, frogs for
Frogs.
sure. Throwing frogs around
Frogs.
docks is really fun.
Yeah.
Like when you throw a frog around a dock and it explodes on it, and you literally look at the dock and it's like covered in water because that's how hard they
They hit it.
splashed it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see. Um,
I haven't really got on a good frog bite at Berryessa lately.
there is there is a frog bite at Berryessa for those of you that don't want to kill me right now. There is a frog bite at Berryessa. It's during certain times of the day, and it's really good from what I understand. I have not been on it in years. I had my Stratos back then.
It's been a minute.
So that's like 10, 15 years ago. Was the last time I got on a frog bite at Berryessa.
Could have changed.
But there is one that's there for sure. I may or may not have recently talked to somebody who may or may not have confirmed that. It's kind of a conventional frog bite, but it's kind of not. Kind of, at least the one that I had. I'll say that. It was like you could throw it, but it was like you could almost throw different topwaters than frogs. Little jackall frog at Berry right now is on fire. Jackall frog is the Kiara, I think it is.
I think so.
I think it's Kiara. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, that smaller profile on Berryessa, definitely. Let's go Melones.
Ooh.
What would you do Melones right now? We got deep,
I'd fish the tires.
clear water tires.
I'd fish those tires.
Yeah, so you got the tires in the marina. Technically, you're not allowed to fish the inside of those tires at at Melones, from what I've heard, but I don't know for sure if that's a rule or not. But those inside of those tires, that shade side basically is what you're looking at, and you throw glides, jerk baits, something that stays up in that 5 foot of column,
Yeah.
and they are literally inside the tires.
If you just like,
There's catfish inside those.
yeah,
tires.
if you just cruise along those and just look at them, if it's the water's calm, you could see the fish swimming around those tires.
Yeah, just throw a glide bait out there and you'll watch them come out at you.
Yeah, they'll come out.
It's kind of crazy how
check you
many
out.
fish will be inside those things.
Yeah.
The other thing I do on Melones this time of the year is focus on areas with big rock,
Yeah.
like boulder rock where there's that.
I might run up the creek too.
Bait, definitely look for bait balls. Run up creeks.
Yep.
And that's running all the way to the end of the end of the end, because they still have like snow runoff and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So the water temperature is cooler, so those fish is getting a fresh inflow of bait and stuff like that coming in, and the water's actually cooler for them, so they're more active in that area.
And then Melones is pretty full. I'm not sure how deep the trees are, like the standing wood trees. I'm guessing they're kind of deep.
They're probably deep right
They're
now.
probably really, really deep. But normally when that water's lower, you can use those trees. They'll actually like if this is the tree, they will, I swear their backs are touching it,
Yeah.
or they're right there. And they're just suspended at 20 foot in a 50-foot tree.
Yeah.
They're just at that exact water level. And then you can go around to different trees and they'll be at that same level.
Yeah.
What's up, Camel Joe? That would be Melones, Pedro, all those deep clear water lakes. You're kind of looking that same kind of deal.
Yeah.
If there is wind current, that's the other thing is wind current. You want to get at the moving water if there's any moving water on lakes. Find the moving water. Just like turning a fan on like we have right now. A fan being on can lower the temperature. Same thing as water doing the same thing. Movement.
Water movement.
Delta, which is probably what most people are fishing right
Yeah.
now. Again, back to uh, we be talking about weeds, basically, right? And you want to find the green weeds, the healthy weeds, the ones with flowers on it. You want to find the hyacinth if they haven't killed it, and pennywort if they haven't killed it. They've been focusing on hyacinth and pennywort, and it's been like decimating areas.
Yeah. If you ever look at the hyacinth, they got roots on them that are like a foot to 2 foot, and there's stuff inside of them like shrimp and baits and a whole bunch of little stuff in there. And the crawdads actually go in there and eat at that stuff. And so when you're punching and you're throwing a crawdad imitator, that's what they're going after. So sometimes when that's dropping, it's not even getting to the bottom before those fish are picking them up, because they're looking at that, waiting for that crawdad to kick off or
And
come
don't
off
be
of that.
afraid to fish the roof
Yes.
of any of that stuff, the hyacinth, the weeds, any of that stuff. So like punch it through, but don't be afraid to pull it up till
there.
it hits and then shake it a little bit before you finally pull it out, the final little bit.
Right, and pay attention to that line going down.
Because if you ever, like Clear Lake, they have pennywort or whatever it is. I think it's pennywort on Clear Lake. And one of the days that I had that I was punching on there, there was actually a muskrat. What do they call those things? The little
muskrat
ferret looking thing that they have that's on there. And it was actually, it would go in that stuff. It would pop down for like 2 seconds, come up maybe a foot away, and it's crunching on a crawdad.
Yeah.
And as soon as it got done, it dived back down, go down a foot, pop back up again, crunching on a crawdad. Like there's no way for it to dive any deeper than literally right there at those root balls that are on that.
Yeah.
And it's just going along, and it
Picking
ate
up crawdads
for flipping.
You could actually
Minute
pull
for a
if
while.
you pull one of the hyacinth out, like one of the plants with the roots on it, and then put it in your live well and let it sit for a little bit and then take it out, you will see the life that is in there.
Yeah, it's like little, like, I don't know what they call them. I think they call them shrimp or something.
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
like little
Tiny
shrimp.
little shrimp things that are in there, and that's what the crawdads are eating. That's what your bait fish is eating. All that stuff. Don't be afraid to work with that roof. And then the same thing with weeds. If you actually take a clump of weeds, like, and put that in your live well, or just set it on your deck, you can see stuff crawling out of it, even though it just looked like it was a piece of weed.
Just something to think about, something on how to make things work out there.
Yeah.
Putting things together.
Then the other thing for Delta would be current.
Yeah.
Like we just said for the lakes, is
Current,
finding,
current,
exchanging
current.
water. So for instance, running up to the very, very end of Sycamore, that water is going to get hot. There's no exchange.
It's just
not
moving
as
down
much
a little
exchange.
bit, moving up a little bit, right? Like you're not flowing from another area or like main channel or something like that. You're not getting that cooler water.
That mixture.
Yeah.
So you want to kind of stay out, and if you do go in those areas, which there are people who do, you're back to weeds, deep water. Like I want something that has deeper water nearby so that they can come up, do their feed or whatever it is, and then go back down and hang out there. Josh says wobblehead is good too. Nobody throws them at the lake, so it's something they haven't seen very much.
That is a good point, right? Like throwing a bait that the fish don't typically get to see, right? Like
that's a common bait, especially in other parts of the country.
Correct.
Is a common bait that doesn't get seen that much around here. Is actually like it's a good tactic,
right,
to go for. If you notice, not a lot of people do like wake baits. Like there are a chunk of people who do wake baits, but the average person, the average angler out there doesn't throw a bigger wake bait.
Yeah.
So when you do throw one of those, like Toxic Baits has a crank down, Expedition Baits has a crank down / Like you can either run it on the surface slow, or you can actually crank down and get down lower with those bigger baits. You can generate a pretty big bite with those things, kind of consistently once you figure out the pattern.
Yeah.
That is, if you don't clip it on the front deck of your boat and then drive across 3-footers, 4-footers. How bad was
It was
like 4?
Wasn't nice.
3 to 4-footers. We'll just say that.
Yeah, it wasn't nice.
Yeah, and then realize, oh,
That
whoops.
that
So if anybody
70s
finds a black Silly Sally on Berryessa,
Yeah.
congratulations, and throw that
It
on
works.
throw that on the Delta, and you get to figure it out how awesome that bite can be.
Yeah, it's only like a $70 bait, no big deal.
Yeah, it's not cheap,
Yeah.
especially to be completely lost.
Yeah.
What else we got for Delta?
It's gonna be hot, drink water.
Yeah, pretty
Like
much.
if I had a bimini for my boat.
We have a
that'd
tournament at Delta this weekend.
Yeah.
4th of July weekend from 5:20 to 11:20.
Yeah, nice, quick and early. Get out of there. Go have a hot dog, maybe some ice cream. Old Getsy. Hopefully, we're doing a hot dog and an ice cream after this, right? After the tournament.
Yeah, you gotta break it down with the good stuff. Matt's wake bait is good. I do know somebody who owns one of those wake baits. He's thrown it like twice, 3 times. I don't think he's really stuck to it. I don't own one.
You got to build confidence in it.
A lot of it is I didn't know how to use it. I kind of know how to use it now, but I haven't bought one. Josh also agrees with ice cream.
Yeah.
So hot dog and ice cream at B&W afterwards is it's good on a hot day
Yep.
with a little black and white Arizona iced tea. If you guys don't know, that is, in my opinion, the best Arizona iced tea is the black and white iced tea.
For Arizona, yes.
For Arizona, that is.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely getting out early, getting in early, being done with it. Or the flip side, going out late, getting back really late, right? Like
Yeah,
that
coming
midday
back where you're like, you can see, but it's your
Yeah.
lights are on,
Yeah,
and
turning
you're
your
coming
lights
back
on.
late.
Yeah, B&W ice cream is the best. Well, it's not the best. I would say Collins Lake is the best.
I haven't had
But-
Collins like ice cream, so I wouldn't know.
But
it's
yes.
it's probably the same mixture in the same machine.
No, because Collins Lake doesn't come out of a machine.
Oh, it's handmade
Yeah,
with blood, sweat, and tears.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been
Collins Lake ice cream is one of the best. Like it is a thing to do if you're in that area. Go get that ice cream.
there. I know back east they have a place called Freddy's. I haven't eaten there as food, but they have custard style. There's no custard style around here, probably because it's too fattening or has who knows what in it, MSG or some crap.
JR says he goes out late and
That's good.
leaves around 11 p.m. Those Berryessa TNTs are kind of like that. We get out, blast offs at 5, weigh-ins at 9. I'm not getting back until 11, but
Yeah.
that's pretty good actually, right? Like if you have 25 boats weighing in and they're doing a weigh-in, they're handing out the money and doing a small raffle, and I'm still getting home at 11 o'clock
Yeah.
from
Well,
the lake.
And you're lucky you have a backyard you can put your boat into.
Yeah.
I don't have that option.
Yeah.
Collins Lake puts some extra special stuff in their ice cream.
Yes.
I
Super
mean,
good.
It's people in the hills. You never know what their extra special stuff. If it's a
Yeah.
powdered version or a gel version or a cookable version. Josh Rossi says good bite window is from 6 to 9. That's pretty consistent in these hot days. So like Berryessa, there's that. If they're not up there in that shade, they kind of get like lethargic and they lay out. You can drag them on drop shot. You can catch fish during the day at Berryessa. A lot of this experience is before forward scan. I don't know if there's a forward scan bite in that midday level that's out there. But definitely that first couple hours and the last couple hours are the best for really any body of water. And if you can get a good tide swing at the Delta along with the sunrise or sunset, it can be a really fun day.
Yeah.
Throwing frogs, buzz baits, active stuff that's actually fun, not a minnow or a Cinco or a drop shot.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of like that frog, the ultimate frog challenge. They fish one half of it is at night. The first Saturday's like 12 to 6 or 7, right? It's the afternoon, the later part of the day, and then the next day is 6 o'clock blast off.
Yeah.
So like noon. So you fish in the complete opposite tides.
Yeah, you're fishing opposite tides, and then you're fishing the sunrise and the sunset. You're fishing like everything's completely different. There's a lot of times where people they do really well on day 1 and then don't do any well on day 2.
Right.
And vice versa. And then there are consistent people who do well both days. But that's the challenge of it, right? Can you do both days, both sides of the tide, morning and evening, and come out on top?
Very romantic, You're with your partner with the sunset.
I get to watch the sunset and the sunrise.
Yeah. Yeah, we're probably going to fish the UFC
on the
amateur side, though.
Am side.
We're no good.
We're not pro.
We're not pro. We're not good.
I guess pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else.
Any
hydrate. Yeah, any questions?
Anybody have any questions? Like I said, next week will be a week from today will be December. The Delta. I've almost forgot. The Delta.
Yeah.
Will be a tournament at the Delta. That's for you know who you are. That the part that I always forget to say.
Yeah.
It'll be a Delta video. The Delta. See, I'm not good at it.
Yeah. It'll just be a recap of
it'll be a recap of the tournament for this weekend.
Yeah, for this weekend. Yeah, Merry Christmas, James.
Merry Christmas, yeah.
December already. Yeah.
It's been a long, hot day. Even though I drove for 4 hours for a 10-minute project today, but we won't get into that. I got 4 hours of AC time today. I'm way better than yesterday.
Yeah.
That train wrecked me. Completely train wrecked me.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, something that you guys want us to talk about for lives, go ahead and hit him up on Instagram or on YouTube. Leave a comment, and then also we will be we'll be doing
the recap
on Wednesday of what happened at the Delta.
Right back to this heat and how well it kicked our butt with our 6-hour tournaments and how well we did and kind of what we learned, what we didn't learn, and like a normal video. If there's any live topics that you guys want to talk about or want us to talk about or want to be able to open up the forum and you guys can talk and say your stuff in the comments too, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Josh Rossi recommended drop shot in different situations. We will probably get to that at some point. There's some other really good topics we haven't quite got into. I'm not sure if I want to dabble into the controversial ones.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence about it. I'm trying not to be controversial. I don't know. It's hard to see.
Make sure that you guys stay safe this weekend. If you guys are going out on the water, watch out for the other boaters, right? Play defense.
Yes.
When you're driving your boat. Know that not everybody is as cautious as you are.
Yep.
So stay safe. Have a happy 4th of July.
And as I always say, pay attention for them because they can't do it themselves.
Correct.
So that's pretty much it. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. And we'll see you next week on Wednesday. It'll be a regular video. It'll come out 4 p.m. And until next time, I hope you get them.